I'm your lifestyle design bestie. And no, that does not mean I'm here to tell you to buy another planner or light a candle or make a vision board and pretend your bills are not outside acting disrespectful. Okay. That is not what we're doing. When I say lifestyle design bestie, I mean I'm the friend who is going to ask you better questions about your life. Okay. The friend who is going to lovingly clock the places where you are living on autopilot. The friend who is going to remind you that you are allowed to want a life that actually fits you. Not just a life that looks good, not just a life that checks the boxes, not just a life that everybody else understands, but a life that feels honest when you wake up inside of it. Because a lot of us women are not unhappy because we're ungrateful. We are unhappy because we have been building a life that we never truly chose, right? So today, I want to talk about what I mean when I say I'm your lifestyle design bestie, how I got here, and why this channel exists for women who are ready to stop living by default. Okay. Hey, y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kiara Ivy, aka Kiara the Concrete Rose. And around here, we talk about lifestyle design, adulting, soft life strategy, singlehood, child free living, location independence, personal growth, and building a life that actually feels like yours. Today's video is a little bit different. This is not a 5 tips video. This is more of a let me explain the whole point of this space video. Okay. Lifestyle design can sound very fancy, right? It can sound like something for digital nomads with expensive luggage or entrepreneurs with perfect morning routines. But to me, lifestyle design is much more practical than that. Lifestyle design is asking, what kind of life am I actually building? And does it fit the woman I am becoming? That is the conversation. And the bestie part matters because I do not believe women need another person talking at them like they are a broken project. Okay. We need honest conversations. We need strategy. We need language. And sometimes we need someone to say, girl, I get it. I truly get it. I feel you on that on a visceral level. And also, let's look at the pattern, right? That is the energy here. Okay. I think I became a lifestyle design person before I had language for it because I have always questioned the script. I have always been the person looking around like, wait, who decided this was the only way to do life? Who decided adulthood had to look like this? Who decided success had to feel this heavy? Most of us are handed a life script early, right? They tell us go to school, get the job, be responsible, settle down, stay busy. Don't forget to be grateful for everything you have and don't ask too many questions, right? And for some people, that script, it works beautifully. And I love that for them. But I've always been the rebel, folks. I mean, my first business that I ever launched was called Miss Unconventional, and it was an avant garde lifestyle design company. So, of course, I've been marching to the beat of my own drum since I was 10 months old, literally. My mom told me that I started walking at 10 months. I basically skipped crawling and just went straight to walking. And so you can imagine, even as a baby with that much confidence and independence, it naturally will spill over into my adulthood. Now, it doesn't look all glitz and glam, it doesn't look all polished and neat, right? With this rebel fire, with this desire to live an unconventional life, comes with struggles, comes with the ghetto side of adulthood. Okay. But regardless, I know that a lot of women, especially women who are ambitious, single, child free, divorced, starting over, or just craving more freedom, I know that the original script, the traditional script starts to feel tight. It's not always wrong. It's just tight. Okay? Like a dress that photographs well, but you can't breathe in it. right? And people keep telling you how good it looks, how good that dress looks on you, but you're the one gasping for air. That is what the default life can feel like. From the outside, it makes sense. Everybody thinks your life is giving, it's goals. But inside, something is saying, this does not fit. And I think that's where my work begins, right? I want to serve the woman who knows her current lifestyle doesn't fit and she's looking for new measurements. She needs new measurements for a new gown because the current outfit is not giving what it's supposed to give. Okay. And I know that I don't have to do this. I don't have to serve you by telling you to blow up your life or telling you to quit your job, move abroad, dump everything, and just start over by Monday. Although, depending on the situation, we may need to discuss a few things, right? But really, it just starts with better questions, not me dictating to you what your ideal life should look like. It's questions like, what do I actually want? What am I doing because I chose it? And what am I doing because I inherited it? What would my life look like if I stopped trying to impress people who do not have to live inside of my choices? Those are lifestyle design questions. Okay. At some point, I realized that normal is not neutral. Normal absolutely has a cost. Sometimes that cost is money, sometimes it's peace, sometimes it's your ability to hear your own voice. And once I saw that, I could not unsee it, right? They say when you know better but don't do better, you hurt harder. The truth is, I started noticing how many choices people call responsible simply because they are familiar, like staying in a city that drains you because that is where you're supposed to be, working in a career that looks stable but leaves you exhausted, saying yes to things you resent because you do not want to disappoint anyone, building a lifestyle that impresses people but quietly traps you. And listen, this is not judgment. Most of us have done some version of this. We build life one decision at a time, one yes at a time, one expectation at a time, one survival season at a time. And then one day we look up, we look around and realize we are living inside of a structure we did not intentionally design. It is not, it's not that every piece of it is bad. It is just that nobody asked if the whole thing works well together, if it meshes well. That is what lifestyle design does. It steps back and looks at the whole ecosystem because your life is not a bunch of separate little boxes. Your money affects your choices, right? Your choices affect your peace. Your peace affects your health. Your environment affects your ambition. Your relationship affects your nervous system. It is all connected. So when one part of your life feels heavy, I do not just want to ask, how can we force you to be more disciplined, right? I want to ask what part of the design is not supporting you. That's a much better question. That is a different question. And different questions create different lives. Okay. So let's talk about the word bestie because I know some people hear bestie and think it means unserious, but I use it very intentionally. A real bestie does not just hype you up. A real bestie tells you the freaking truth. Okay. A real bestie can say, I love you, but this is not working. A real bestie can celebrate you and challenge you at the same time. A real bestie can hold your hand and still ask, okay, but what are we going to do about this? That is the role I want this channel to play. I am not here to shame you. I am not here to talk to you like you are crazy. I am not here to make you feel behind. And I am definitely not here pretending I have mastered every single part of adulthood and now I'm floating above life in this like white linen outfit with perfect boundaries. No. I'm sorry, that's not, I wish I could say that that was what's happening, but it's just not, and it would make me wildly unrelatable anyway. But I am someone who thinks deeply about the work. I study the patterns. I turn messy life lessons into frameworks. I believe wisdom should be useful. So when I say lifestyle design bestie, I mean I am going to keep the conversation honest. I'm going to make the strategy feel accessible. I'm going to give real life examples. I'm going to keep giving you the practical without making it sterile, right? Because adulthood is already doing the most, okay? We do not need to suffer without comedy, okay? So I'm always going to bring that sass, that personality. The bestie part is warmth, right? The lifestyle design part is the strategy. Together, that's the lane. Sweating, y'all. So, what does lifestyle actually mean here? It means we are designing around real life, not fantasy. Not the fantasy version of you who wakes up early, drinks your lemon water, meditates for 45 minutes, meal preps perfectly, answers every email, works out without fail, journals every day, reads 10 pages, moisturizes, and somehow has edges laid by sunrise. Respectfully, And let me be clear, there's some of y'all baddies out there that are doing that thing. Y'all got your routines on lock, but not everyone does though. And sometimes those routines are not set up for life moments that humble you. So we are designing around the actual you, the you that does have life happen every once in a while. The you that has bills, dreams, decision fatigue, and nervous system, right? That's sometimes dysregulated or unregulated or both. The one who wants more peace, but still lives in the real world. Okay. Lifestyle design asks, what would make my life easier to live? What needs to be simplified? What needs support? What needs a boundary? What needs to stop being romanticized? Because that last question, that's really important. Sometimes we romanticize struggle because we are used to it. So we romanticize being busy. We romanticize being the strong one and doing everything alone. Help Hallies. We romanticize survival, but not every hard thing is noble, right? Some things are just freaking unnecessary. Okay. And lifestyle design is about noticing the difference. That is why I talk about adulting, because adulting is expensive, it's humbling, it's confusing, and sometimes it's deeply unserious. That is why I talk about soft life strategy, because softness should not only exist on vacation, it should be woven into the fabric of your day to day life. It's also why I talk about singlehood and child free living, because women deserve to make those choices consciously, not from pressure or shame or societal expectations. This is why I talk about location independence, because sometimes changing your environment changes your options and it completely changes the game. I also talk about AI tools, because if something can help me reduce my mental load, create more ease, we need to discuss it. All of these topics may look different on the surface, but underneath, they are asking the same question. How do we build lives that actually fit? That is the thread. This channel is for the woman who is tired of performing fine, the woman who knows she wants something different, but is still finding language for it, the woman who has outgrown the default script but does not want to feel lost forever, right? The woman who is ambitious but no longer wants exhaustion to be part of the package. The woman who wants love but not at the cost of herself. The woman who wants freedom but understands that freedom requires responsibility. The woman who keeps thinking there has to be another way. And yes, there is. Hello, there is. It may not be instant. It may not be easy. It may require different choices. It may require disappointing some people. It may require releasing old identities. It may also require getting honest about what is no longer working. But there is another way. And we are going to explore it here, because I want to give you the tactical approach. I want to make sure we have a reflective component. And I want to make sure we do some story time. We share frameworks, and I give you a loving drag every once in a while. But the goal is always the same, y'all, to help you think more clearly about your life and make decisions with more intention. That's it. It's not perfection, it's intention. Because I do not believe in perfect lives. I believe in honest ones, authentic ones that are in alignment with your personality, your passions, and your purpose. So when I say I am your lifestyle design bestie, that is what I mean. I am the bestie who is going to remind you that your life is not something you have to simply inherit, perform, or endure. It is something you can shape, question, edit, rebuild, simplify, protect, design. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to blow up your whole life overnight. You do not need to become a completely different person by next week. But you do need to start telling the truth about what kind of life actually fits you. Because once you tell the truth, you can start making choices. And once you start making choices, you stop living by default. That is what this channel is about. Building a life by design, not by default. So if that is the kind of conversation you need in your life, I want you to subscribe and stick around. We're going to be talking about adulting, lifestyle design, soft life strategy, singlehood, child free living, geo arbitrage, routines, money, self trust, confidence, and just really truly building a life that is in alignment with who you are. And in the comments, I want to know, what is one part of your life that you are ready to redesign? Drop it below, because naming it is the first step. And around here, we do not just dream about the better lives, we design them. All right, y'all. Bye.